Hello, Peak Radar fans. As we love to do, we are taking you behind the scenes today, backstage at the UCCS and Theater Company and Theater Works stage at the Dusty Lou Bon Vivant. You are seeing a sneak peek of the set of Cabaret, which opens tonight for sold-out opening weekend. And two people who are very excited about that are right over here. Here's Kevin Landis, director, and Amy Haynes, the costume designer, who we recognized from our interview about the Crucible on Tuesday. You know, that's one of the great things about our arts community is that there are some talented folks that you can discover in a lot of different corners of the same arts community. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you feeling about the opening tonight?
Great.
I feel
Beautiful.
great.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of great dress rehearsals, and you know, as you said, that we're sold out tonight, and I think for the whole weekend we have a few seats left next week. But the community is really turning out for Cabaret. Of course, it's such a famous piece, but I also think this is a pretty special version of it. So.
Right. So let's talk about that, Kevin. So you've chosen a play that a lot of people know. They may only know the film, but a lot of people have seen this story. So tell us about why you chose it.
Well, I chose it because I absolutely love it, and I was in it in college, and I think, you know, a lot of people in theater, especially in the life of theater, have some connection to Cabaret, either being in it or working on a version of it. And the reason I chose it is because of that, because we all are connected to it, and it's relevant at any time that you do it. When I selected it back about a year ago, we were just entering into a presidential campaign. We were in a time, I think we still are, a time of American politics that is pretty tense, whatever side of the spectrum that you're on. And when you have that sort of political tension that's going on in your community, you want to address it. And while this play is very much set in Weimar, Germany, before the Nazis are coming to power, but just around the same time, it's a play about tensions and political anxieties and things that, while I don't think we're in a time that is nearly that awful, of course, I think we can always connect into those sorts of anxieties that are presented on the stage in this particular show. So there's that. That's kind of the directory thing. Yeah. It's also just got some of the best music ever written for musical theater. So there's that as well.
Well, and as you were talking about tension and fragmentation, I'm looking at this set design and these windows and boards that slice through the room and really add to that feeling that kind of pervades Cabaret. Amy, you've been part of designing this production as well. Talk to us about your designs.
So the design, you know, I think from the get-go, Kevin and I were really clear that this couldn't be temporally located. It had to be something that was a little bit more timeless and a little bit more transcending perception. So for me, it was really, it was finding the blend between a traditional, what we consider sexy cabaret, and also pulling in pieces that made it a little grittier, made it a little bit more so the audiences could potentially have a connection to it today. So so transcending that time issue.
Great. These were your boards, your visioning boards?
Yeah, these are
ideas.
research boards. I usually print out a bunch of these and take them to Kevin and say, this is where my brain is. These are the inspirations I have for color, for, you know, for where we're going. Now, those are really set in the 30s, but, you know, certainly trying to evoke those colors and that feel. That's what I bring to Kevin, then we can start to have a conversation. So,
show us the piece behind you.
So this is one of Sally Bowles' pieces. She's got a little jacket, and then of course a slinky, sexy, sparkly red dress.
Sparkly.
And if you'll notice, you know, this is not a dress from the 30s. This is a contemporary dress, and so you'll see elements of contemporary clothing within the show, along with some surprising and interesting costume elements. So definitely not your traditional expectations, but I think a certain quality that will draw and attract people to this version. I'm very proud of it.
I should say, because of the Crucible opening tonight and Cabaret and Amy working on both, our set designer who's in the background of this shot, I think, Roy Ballard, who's done a terrific job of some of the stuff that some of the stuff that Amy's talking about and I've talked about creating that timelessness, obviously giving weight and importance to Weimar Germany, but also saying, how can we connect in? And Roy has done, I'm not going to give away the secrets, but Roy has created elements in this room. And this room is a full sort of, almost a well, it's a full immersive experience, if I could put it that way, and you will be able to explore the room and find elements that connect you into sort of those anxieties and those tensions that the play brings up. It's a beautiful set.
So
And he
there
did
again,
Crucible too.
He did Crucible too.
Oh my gosh.
Roy and I are like the dual team, going everywhere.
Great. Well, let me just here. So you can find all details about Cabaret on peakradar.com, just like you can everything that's happening every weekend, and see what your neighbors here, what Kevin and Amy and Roy and all of the performers in the UCCS Theater Company have been working on for this weekend and next weekend through March 26th. Come see the Cabaret at UCCS Theater at the Dusty Lou Bon Vivant. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.